Hi guys, it's Toby from Heavyweight MMA. Today we're here to talk about Rose Namajunas versus Zhang Weili. I would also like to announce that we're having a giveaway for a pair of Raja boxing gloves in the same model as this, in the color green with gold writing. Now, all you need to do to enter this is write a comment in the comment section below and also hopefully subscribe. Anyone can enter, and I'll cover the cost of postage to anywhere that is a valid address worldwide. Now, the winner will be announced and chosen randomly from all the comments after UFC 268, and I'll announce the winner in a video on this channel. So please subscribe, put a comment down below, and be in the chance to win the pair of Raja gloves. There'll be a short version of the rules in the comments below, and also you can email me for a full copy of the rules of the competition. Okay, see you soon, guys. Yep. All right, it's Toby from Heavyweight MMA here again with Colby Thickness talking about the upcoming fight on UFC 268, Rose Namajunas versus Zhang Weili. What are your thoughts on this fight, man?
I think it's going to be a banging fight. I'm not going to lie, I was disappointed Carla Esparza didn't get a shot, but Weili is obviously a rightful champion and she does deserve that sort of rematch. So it's going to be good.
Yeah, man. In 25 fights, she's only lost 2. One was in her first pro fight, and then one in her last one, obviously against Rose. So she deserves to have another crack, I think, man. And it was a pretty fast one too, right? In the first part of the first round, she gets shot to the chin by a left high kick and she's out, or maybe not even really out. It's hard to know. When you look at it, was she really out? I don't know. I'm not so sure. So let's run it back, see if she was rightfully the loser in that one or not.
Yeah, I think she got caught cold in a sense. I remember because we were actually at the Ultimate Fighter house when this fight was happening.
Yeah.
And I think I was helping like Volker cook something. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a good fight. And I was like halfway through like prepping something, just humping out. And I look up and all I see is Rose like, boom, that left kick comes through. And I was like, oh shit. Like I did not expect Rose to sort of, obviously Rose has that sort of power and her quickness and that, but I did not expect her to get it done so quickly, which I does think is why it sort of made a bit more sense for the immediate rematch. It's not like Rose just outclassed her over 25 minutes. It was sort of that like flash KO sort of thing.
That's it, man. And I don't know, I feel like I like Rose, or we should call her Rose Gertrude Namajunas. That Gertrude's just thrown me off a bit. Gertrude seems a bit up and down, right? Like I think she gets a bit affected by the whole mentality of the fight game. I'm not sure if she's always there. So I was thinking like, is she going to succumb to the pressure, whatever? But again, she rose to the occasion and delivered that nice knockout. And even leading up to that, she was looking a little bit better, even though it was only a short part of the fight. She was using her range and movement. She was looking really, really slick, man. So what do you think that Zhang Weili can do this time to not lose by KO again, or to not lose? What are your thoughts, man?
So I think Weili needs to just make it more of that dogfight. We know Rose has good jabs, good kicks at range and that, whereas Weili, I think, needs to get in her face and make it more gritty. She has the advantage on the hand speed. I think she's got a bit of movement on the inside, and I think that's going to be where she can most likely do the most damage to Rose. I don't think she can sort of stay on the outside and make it a kickboxing fight. I think she needs to go first and not really bite into, as I saw Rose was using a lot of fakes and feints that last one. I think she needs to be wary, but she can't always bite and be super respectful on him. I think she just needs to go a bit more and sort of take the lead and initiate the fight and sort of dictate the pace that she wants to set.
Yeah, man. I think that little bit of range that Rose had in the last fight kind of got her just for the first part of the round. Obviously, it was taking a little bit of time for Zhang Weili to find that range. She looked like she was just missing, and I think she could have adjusted, and all she needed to do was be like a couple of inches in front, which is actually their reach disadvantage anyway, and then she would have landed. And like you said, she needs that dogfight. She needs that to kick off. She needs it to get a bit rougher, and she needs Rose to slow down a bit, which she usually does a little bit after the first round. Maybe after the first and second round, she starts to slow down. And like you said, I think if she can keep it going and doesn't get knocked the fuck out like she did in the last one, she's got a chance. If it's a war of attrition, she's got a good chance because she's a grinder, right? Like she's got great cardio. She keeps going. She's got a pretty strong chin. I mean, that last one was a flush kick to the jaw and neck, and she didn't get knocked out cold. So she's a pretty tough girl, yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. And as you saw with Rose versus Andrade, the rematch, the first two rounds, Rose was behind that jab, piecing her up. And as soon as that third round came, Rose's gas tank starting to empty her. She wasn't as behind the jab as much. Her movement wasn't nearly as effective as it was in the first two rounds. And then that's when Jessica Andrade started to start landing them bombs. So I think that's what Weili needs to do, sort of stay safe for first two, and then slowly in the championship rounds, even from the third, just really try and pressure onwards from there.
That's it, man. And from Rose's side, she needs to use that lateral movement and that reach advantage and the long shots, I think, and throwing in her skills with Taekwondo, which is something I mentioned in the last time I reviewed this fight before it happened, that she's got that Taekwondo background that she can throw up some interesting, unexpected kicks, and she did just that, you know. So that's what she should be leaning on, is that range. She looked like she had good speed in the first round, and she has that range just to keep her away. So I think if she can continue that, but can she continue it for 5 rounds? Because that's a big ask to keep that movement, that speed, and that long range, fast shots for that long. It's very difficult, right?
I think that's going to be the sort of biggest factor in this fight is if Rose comes out with the same game plan and style, which obviously worked for her in the first, it's can she sustain that throughout the 5 rounds? Because if she can't, then we know Wei Li's tough. She's in there. Her gas tank's fantastic. She's going to be in the fight for the full 5 rounds. She might lose the first or second round, but as soon as that third, fourth, and fifth, and she makes it a dogfight, I can see Rose crumbling a lot faster than Wei Li will.
Yeah. The other question is, like, on the grappling side, like, who do you think would be the best grappler? I mean, you look at their history, and Rose has 5 subs to her name. She's not really a KO specialist, but she's had 2 good KOs against good people. Whereas Zhang Weili's only had 1 submission, but she looked very strong. Like, before she was in the grapple with who was it? She was in the grapple with in one of their recent fights. It was Aguilar. She fought her, and she looked really strong in the grapple. And she's a brown belt, BJ brown belt. So to be standing up to her in the grapple shows that she's got pretty good skills. You know, she didn't get subbed. She looked like she had a strong top position with no answer from the grappler.
Yeah.
You know?
Didn't she subbed Jessica too in that first round of the armbar?
Oh yeah, she did. She armbarred her. She started to pull a triangle from the mount, and then she turned into an armbar. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Rose does have good wrestling and jiu-jitsu. She's very skillful there, but I think it might just they're both skillful. I think it might come down to pure like the physicality and the strength. And I have to give that to Weili. I think Rose might try and initiate the takedowns and stuff like that. But I think, especially with the gas tank will be playing a factor. I don't think it would be smart for Rose to initiate the takedowns and sort of expend all the energy trying to hold Weili down. As you see, Weili's very strong. She's very athletic. She might get taken down, but I do feel like she can sweep, or she can even just use attempted sweeps to create space and get back on her feet. And I feel like that can also drain Rose's gas tank, which I don't think she would want being over the 5 rounds. Whereas Weili's gas tank, we've seen her in scrambles, she can pop back up and she's still straight back in your face, and she's very sort of aggressive after them, which will work in her favor.
Yeah, man, it's a difficult one. Another factor we need to talk about is the hair factor. You know, she's cut all her hair off because she wants to be a bit like Rose now. I think she's cut her hair off, and she's not looking too flash. I think she's just focusing on her fighting. Doesn't want to worry about washing her hair or whatever those things entail for someone with long hair. I wouldn't know. Interesting, man. She's not looking too flash, I would say.
Yeah, she's looking like proper, like, I'm just here to kill sort of mode, in that kill mode. She doesn't care about anything else. It's just a fight in front of her, which is a sort of, I think it's a perfect mindset to be going into a fight like this, where you're lost in dramatic fashion in the first minute of like the first fight, well, fairly early on. So you want to sort of be able to come back and make that statement win, because if she loses again, it's not the end of her career, but it's definitely going to shoot her down a few rankings. It's going to be a much higher climb up. If she can bounce back, put in a good performance, be like, no, I'm here to stay. It was just a fluke that sort of happened, and she can sort of establish herself that way. She could really make a sort of run in that division as like one of the greats.
That's it, man. So what's your final prediction for the fight, man?
Oh man, I'm always going to be a bit biased to Rose, purely because she won me like $500 when she KO'd JJ, so I was absolutely stoked with that. But I think with game plan with Trevor Whitman and everything, I think Rose might get it done, but I think it's going to be a real sort of dogfight. I'm going to go Rose by, I think, split decision. I think it's going to be just like a really gritty. Like she might look good early on, but I think Weili's going to come back during the middle part, and Rose is going to have to dig deep. It's going to be like a war of attrition to the end. So I'm going Rose by split decision.
Yeah, man, it's a difficult one because, like I said, on one hand, you've got Rose, who's got all the skills to beat anyone, really, but she comes in up and down, and you know what she's gonna bring on the day, right? Like she looked great in their fight, but then other fights she doesn't look so good, and she mentally defeats herself. So, you know, which Rose is coming? And I think from what I've seen, I would say Zhang is pretty like, you know, you can kind of see what you get what you expect from her. She doesn't seem to be swayed too much, although she was emotional after their last fight. So I'm hoping that Zhang can come back, and also being someone living in China, I think I'm going to have to support Zhang. There was a lot of, actually the interesting thing, there was heaps of support from all around this Asian region for UFC, and much more interest than was shown ever before, just because
that's awesome.
They had a champion. So it's kind of cool. Like if she gets back in, I think it's beneficial for the sport and everything. So I'm kind of half hoping and kind of half thinking that she's got a good chance if she can maintain the course and get past the first 2 rounds. So I'm going to say Zhang by decision after a bit of attrition in the first couple of rounds. Yeah. So that's my go.
It's going to be a cracking fight though.
Yeah.
I'm excited
anyway, man. So thanks for your opinion, man. And just a quick note in 廣東話，張惠麗加油啊！我想要佢影咗啦。Anyway, just a quick Chinese one. Last time we did one, had heaps of Chinese people checking it out. So just a quick.
Beautiful. Perfect.
That's
what we want.
All right, man. Take care, bro. See you next time.
Legend. Cheers, mate.